Imagine you're on vacation with friends, enjoying a good summer getaway from reality, sipping cocktails by the beach, when suddenly you get attacked by strangers. Your friends leave you in a foreign country, and you disappear for 10 years without a trace. Well, this is what happened to Lars Mittank in July of 2014. Warning: this story contains real images and CCTV footage. Viewer discretion is advised. Lars Mittank was born on 9th of February 1986 in Berlin, Germany. He worked as a power plant operator in the city of Wilhelmshaven, which was 120 kilometers away from his parents, but still took the time to visit them and help them out whenever he could, as his father unfortunately suffered a stroke in 2012. He loved sports, and his favorite football club was Werder Bremen ever since he was a child. 30th of June. Flying to Varna. This was his first party vacation, as he normally booked sports vacations for fishing and diving. Golden Sands is a popular resort area on Bulgarian Black Sea coast, known for its sandy beaches, hotels, and tourist attractions. Lars thought it would be a good getaway and decided to go on a mancation with 5 of his friends. On the 4th of July, they left the bar at 4 a.m. to get McDonald's. But Lars was on a healthy diet and decided to head home alone. On his way back, he was attacked and beaten by Russians or Bulgarians, according to his own statement. He speculated that someone at the bar had paid the attackers, as he heard that in Bulgaria it is easy to bribe someone to fight someone. The attackers managed to damage his eardrum, something that Lars found out the morning after, as he woke up with unbearable pain. Following the incident on the 4th of July, the weekend came, and July 5th and 6th, Lars did not go to the doctor as he assumed that they were not open on weekends. The group of men relaxed throughout the weekend up until Monday, the 7th of July, when their checkout was due. Lars was unfortunately not feeling well due to his ear and proceeded to tell his friends to go ahead and get on the flight home and leave him behind. The 6 of them took a cab to the local practitioner, and the doctor told Lars that he has a ruptured eardrum and gave him a referral to St. Anna's Hospital in Varna and forbade him from flying. His friends took a cab to the airport, and Lars went off to the hospital. He later reported that the doctor had mocked him because he spoke in English. The ENT specialist refused to help Lars. He was prescribed Cefzil 500 anyways. There are speculations that the strong antibiotic had strong side effects. The pharmacist, Rada Pechelvanova, later gave an interview to the press, stating that there are rare side effects which could occur when mixed with drug substances or alcohol. Some of the effects are paranoia, hallucinations, and feeling disoriented. Lars was then driven to Color Hotel by the same taxi driver who took him to the hospital and pharmacy. He was suspicious of the hotel, and feeling paranoid, he called his mother and asked her to block his credit card. Later in the evening, he called his mother again, saying that he did not feel good in the hotel and that the hotel had paper-thin walls. The hotel colors was later confirmed to be very thin-walled, as the German investigator could hear the conversations at the reception. From his bathroom, in his room, which was on the 3rd floor. He stated how the room was unsanitary, the people were sketchy, there was a gypsy neighborhood 100 meters away from the hotel, and there were people outside of the hotel all day and night, in a shady way. There are no tourists in the area, making them believe Lars stood out. Even later on in the evening, at 2:30 a.m. on the 8th of July, he called his mother again, saying that he went out of the hotel to walk, stating that he's being followed by 4 men. His voice was quiet, as though he was afraid people would hear him. At 3 a.m., he sent a message to his mother. Tiftil 500, what is that? At 3:15 a.m., he sent another message. Tiftil 500, what is this? She did not want to call as she was afraid that he's hiding from the men following him, so she booked a flight for 16:20 p.m., which was in 11 hours. At 5 a.m., he waved down a cab which already had a passenger woman inside. Lars seemed distressed, so the taxi driver took him in and took him to the airport in Varna. The driver and passenger later reported that his pupils were dilated. There are many speculations as to why his pupils were dilated, some speculating it was from the ear infection, others from adrenaline. He called his mother from the airport and urgently asked her to send him money via Western Union. He and his mother did not know anything about Western Union, however, a stranger had explained it to him at the airport. Private investigators and his mother later confirmed that Lars was still very conscious and clear as he had remembered all the instructions from the stranger. She proceeded to send him 500 euros. Sandra told Lars to go to the airport doctor before he flies back home. Lars told his mother that he looked very dirty from the place where he hid all night, and his mother suggested he freshens up before visiting the airport doctor. She called again, but only heard mummers on the other line, assuming that Lars was freshening up. This was the last call ever made with Lars. Sandra grew worried and tried calling him again, but with no answer. At 9 a.m., he went to the doctor and the examination took 42 minutes. Dr. Kostov told Lars that he can indeed fly. Lars told the doctor that he was not feeling well and needed to use the bathroom, after which he told the doctor, "I will be right back." Then he is seen running out of the airport and was never seen again. It is important to note that Dr. Kostov had changed his story 3 more times. The first story that he told was that a man in a uniform from the airline had come into the examination room because of Lars's flight. Lars stood up once he saw the airline employee and ran off. It was only 9 a.m. and the flight was at 4:20 p.m. The second story is that the person was an airport employee and not an airline employee. The third story was that the man who walked in was unknown. A German lead investigator had later flown out to Bulgaria and interviewed the person who presented himself as the airport employee. Strangely enough, investigators discovered that this man was not even in Bulgaria during the time of Lars being in the airport doctor's office. Unfortunately, there is no footage of Lars ever being at the doctor's office as the camera near the office created a blind spot. The mother of Lars then called the Bulgarian authorities and she was connected to Miss Mitrova, who testified that Lars had left the airport, leaving all his luggage, passport, and phone behind. On the 9th of July 2014, a missing persons report was created in Germany, and on the 17th of July, a private detective by the name Andreas Gutik began working in Varna on the case. On July 27, 2014, the mother of Lars, Sandra Mittank, the father of Lars, and a Bulgarian lawyer go to the airport in Varna. She was given a list of his belongings, which were searched by the police, and noticed that everything listed from his Adidas bag seemed normal, except the double dosage of Tiftil. There was 2 packets of Tiftil, one with 10 tablets and one with 7 tablets. The lawyer confirmed that they should go to the police station, which took about 4 hours to file the missing persons report. Exhausted, she returned to the hotel where she opened the Adidas bag and noticed how organized everything was. All his clothes, as well as all receipts, almost creating a clear timeline of his travels. However, she discovered that the second Tiftil containing 10 tablets was missing from his suitcase. They returned to the airport and the employees apologized for the inconvenience and gave them the list of items found in his bag again, this time missing the Tiftil at all. As Sandra grew exhausted and frustrated, she suspected foul play by the police and the airport in regards to the Tiftil 500, as it seemed as though they were trying to cover up something. The package of missing Tiftil was later found again by the Varna police, to no help as it only grew more speculations in regards to foul play cover-up. The private investigator, as well as German doctors, speculated that Tiftil 500 has strong side effects on Lars, causing a psychotic episode or paranoia, or even hallucinations, which may have caused the erratic behavior. Private investigators who worked on the case for a decade stated that they had intensively searched the area and forest near the airport. A man-made hut or small sleeping place was found in the forest. The police dogs managed to pick up on the smell of Lars up to a dead end, where the trace of his scent was no more. An extensive search was conducted by Sandra, the investigator, and police by having loudspeakers on the search cars, with the voice of Sandra telling him to find his way to the road. The idea was that even if Lars could not remember where he is or who his mother is, he could be able to recognize his mother's voice. This unfortunately led to a dead end as well. The investigator also mentioned in the interview how wanted posters were required to be taken down by the Bulgarian police, as they were afraid of causing pollution. They also worked with all the TV outlets, radio stations, and newspaper agencies which took interest in the case, both in Bulgaria and Germany. He also stated clearly that the Bulgarian police did not help out at all. He stated that because of the search area, which was so broad, their resources were low. They did not search for Lars. The case remains open in Bulgaria, as there is a law about missing persons who have not been found, which states that a case of its nature cannot be closed. There are many other theories which have been explored when it comes to the behavior of Lars and his final recorded moments. A theory about schizophrenia has been explored, as the mental illness causes hallucinations, paranoia, hearing voices which are not there, and loss of touch with reality. There are no hereditary pre-existing medical conditions such as schizophrenia in the family of Lars, and he had no previous signs of the illness. Another theory, explored by the German private investigator, is that during the beating on the night of his ear injury, Lars could have suffered a head injury. In an interview given by the investigator, it is explained how due to the ear infection there could have been a swelling aneurysm, which would cause pressing to the brain in an area which could affect memory loss and disorientation. In 2016, a picture of a man in Brazil who resembled Lars was circling around the internet until it reached Sandra, the mother of Lars. She immediately contacted the Brazilian police and a few days later received confirmation that the man was not Lars, as his blood type did not match. The man was Anton Palipa, a Canadian man who fled Canada in 2012 because of a warrant arrest on an attempted robbery. He was schizophrenic and managed to travel 10,500 kilometers away from Canada without documentation or money. Not knowing the language and without resources, he managed to get by for 4 years despite his mental illness. He has since reunited with his family, giving Sandra hope in finding Lars. In 2019, the extensive search led to many people giving tips on seeing Lars, all which led to dead ends. However, in 5 years, 15 missing German men were located, all of which deliberately chose to be missing and chose not to go home. Despite extensive searches and investigations by Bulgarian and German authorities, Lars Mittank has never been found. His disappearance remains a baffling mystery, with theories ranging from mental health issues to involvement in illicit activities. This case continues to captivate true crime enthusiasts and remains unsolved to this day. In the year of 2020, Sandra appeared on news channels yet again in order to raise awareness for her son's disappearance in hopes of locating him. A reward of 20,000 euros, equivalent to 40,000 leva, was put up for any new information leading to his whereabouts. She expressed her sadness, how she thinks about him, and how she talks to him in her thoughts, praying for him to come back home. Now, in March 2024, this year will be marking the 10th year since Lars' disappearance, and sadly, no new information leading up to the case has been discovered. The German detective still looks for Lars in Bulgaria and will not give up until he finds him. This case is complex and sad, leaving us with many questions and lots of mysteries. It has fallen into many conspiracy theories and many speculations on the internet on different outcomes and whereabouts of Lars. If you have any information or clues that may lead to the whereabouts of Lars, please visit the following link in the description below. If you made it this far, I just want to thank you for watching. My name is Tan and welcome to Crime Time. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you gave it a like, that helps out with the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe and turn on all notifications so you don't miss out on any of my uploads. Once again, thank you so much for watching and hopefully I will see you on the next one.